Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will embark on a journey through Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Frankenstein, written by Mary Shelley and published in 1818, is a seminal work of Gothic fiction that blends horror with a deep exploration of human ambition, morality, and isolation. Often subtitled the Modern Prometheus, it tells the story of Victor Frankenstein, a scientist who creates a living being through unnatural means, only to be horrified by the consequences of his actions. Shelley's novel raises profound questions about science, responsibility, and the boundaries of human knowledge. Plot summary: a young and ambitious scientist named Victor Frankenstein grew up in the idyllic surroundings of Geneva. From an early age, Victor was captivated by the mysteries of nature, particularly by the hidden powers within the world, which he believed could be unlocked through the study of natural philosophy. As a child, he read ancient alchemists like Agrippa and Paracelsus, whose visions of immortality and power fascinated him. His father dismissed these studies as sad trash, but Victor's imagination was already kindled. His thirst for knowledge would only deepen as he grew older. When Victor was 17, his mother, whom he adored, tragically died after nursing his beloved cousin Elizabeth back from a serious illness. This loss devastated Victor, but it also strengthened his resolve to pursue his studies and uncover the secrets of life and death. He enrolled in the University of Ingolstadt, where he was introduced to modern chemistry and natural sciences by his professors. Eager to distinguish himself, Victor threw himself into his work, often forsaking his health and personal relationships in his obsessive quest. At Ingolstadt, Victor's curiosity transformed into something far more dangerous, an unrelenting desire to conquer death itself. He sought to animate lifeless matter, to play the role of God, and through sleepless nights and fevered labor, he succeeded. He assembled a creature from parts scavenged from graveyards and charnel houses, hoping to create a being of beauty and strength. But when the creature stirred to life, Victor was horrified by the result. The being's monstrous appearance filled him with revulsion. His dream of creating life turned into a nightmare. He abandoned the creature, fleeing from the horrors he had unleashed. Victor became ill, both physically and mentally, and spent months recovering under the care of his friend Henry Clerval, unaware of the fate of his creation. He tried to forget his blasphemous work and to return to a normal life, but a shadow loomed over him. Unknown to Victor, the creature he had abandoned had come to life in a world that recoiled at its hideous form. Shunned by everyone it encountered, the creature wandered through the wilderness, lonely and confused, trying to understand its existence. After finding refuge in the woods near a cottage, the creature secretly observed a family living there, an old man, his son, and daughter. Through them, it learned to speak and read, yearning for the companionship and love they shared. The creature, despite its terrifying appearance, was sensitive and full of hope. It approached the old man, who was blind, hoping to find acceptance. But when the family saw the creature, they reacted with horror and drove it away. This rejection plunged the creature into despair, and rage soon replaced its longing for companionship. Consumed by anger at its creator, the creature sought out Victor, determined to make him pay for the suffering it had endured. In the mountains near Geneva, the creature confronted Victor, telling him its story and demanding that Victor create a female companion, another being who could share its loneliness. The creature promised to leave humanity forever if his request were granted. Victor, horrified yet filled with guilt, reluctantly agreed. He returned to Geneva to begin the work, but was haunted by doubts about the consequences of creating another monster. He traveled to a remote island to complete the task, but at the last moment, overcome by fear of what he might unleash upon the world, he destroyed his work. The creature, enraged by this betrayal, swore vengeance. It killed Victor's closest friend, Henry Clerval, and then, in a final act of cruelty, murdered Elizabeth on the night of her wedding to Victor. Each death struck deeper into Victor's heart, plunging him into despair and driving him to madness. He lost everything: his family, his friends, his beloved Elizabeth, all because of his reckless pursuit of forbidden knowledge. With nothing left to live for but revenge, Victor pursued the creature across Europe and into the frozen wilderness of the Arctic. Driven by hatred and remorse, Victor followed the creature northward, determined to destroy it. In this frozen wasteland, Victor encountered Robert Walton, an explorer leading an expedition to the North Pole. Walton, who had found Victor near death, listened to his tragic tale as the two men bonded over their shared ambition and isolation. Victor, now broken and frail, urged Walton to avoid the same mistakes he had made, warning him of the dangers of ambition unchecked by responsibility. Though Walton admired Victor's intellect, he was moved by his tale of ruin and began to question his own quest. Meanwhile, Victor's health continued to decline, and soon he succumbed to his exhaustion and guilt, leaving Walton to reflect on the cautionary lessons of his life. In the final moments of the tale, the creature, still alive and tormented by guilt, approached Walton's ship. The once hopeful being was now weary of life, crushed by the destruction it had caused. It mourned its creator's death, though its hatred for him had once been overwhelming. The creature vowed to end its own life by disappearing into the icy wilderness, a final act of repentance for the horrors it had committed. As it vanished into the darkness, Walton was left to contemplate the tragic consequences of human ambition, the devastating effects of isolation, and the fragility of life. That's it for now, but don't stop here. Mary Shelley has more stories waiting for you. Check them out in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Mary Shelley's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.